California girls were unforgettable. Daisy Dukes with shoes on top. Holy shit! I did not know that I was filming on a fucking removal.
Dude, I think I went down a different path. I don't remember any of this.
Okay, guys. The quality of the stream is going to be quite bad because I am streaming on a random ass laptop.
Man, I love Ren and Stimpy! Bro, what the? Bro, what the?
So I might stream Over the Hedge. Miners. Okay. The fuck's the TV? Okay, guys. The TV's on. The quality looks decent. I'm about to shit my pants. Holy shit. Today we're gonna be streaming Over the Hedge. Let's stream the oblongs. The fucking oblongs. That show is so bad. This computer is slow as fuck. Copyright claims. YouTube, don't take me down. I have rights. Maybe. Shut up. That movie sucks. This movie sucks so bad. Jeepers. Guinea pigs. Okay, let's see if it's on here. I don't even know if it's on here. Our there's so many bad movies on Tubi. H. Please. I'm scared. Come on. G. I think I spelt it right. I'm retarded. The fuck? Ah. E. Alright, guys. Are you minors? It's not on here. Tell your friends to join the stream. Everybody. All my minors out there that are the single viewer watching the stream, send the link to the GC. Not gonna lie. Fucking stream Fear Factor. The Angry Birds movie! Guys, the Angry Birds movie.
Yeah, we need someone.
Here, get the keyboard out of here. One. Wait a minute. No, no, no. Okay, we're gonna bring this closer. That looks like dog shit. Down the shaft. Down the shaft. You probably can't see it, but it says shaft. Trying to find a good movie on fucking Tubi is harder to find. When was I watching Hunter x Hunter? Wait. I know there's a Mr. B show on here. R. There's Mr. B. You know what? We're not. Tubi sucks ass. So we're just gonna go on regular YouTube and we're watching Mr. Beast. Let me go on the other side. Okay. Me me mamu mu me me mamu me me mamu mu me mamu me mamu mu. Hold on. You guys can get booty review. Okay. We're signing in to YouTube because you ain't built for these streets, cuh. Continue. I don't even know what email I signed up with. Uh, mm, uh, mm, uh, uh, mm, uh, Okay. I found which one. Don't close that tab. Yeah. Yeah. Like, yes! Sorry, Mom. Dingalo X Crunchyroll. That sounds interesting. EDP hates Mr. Beast, guys. Yeah, damn. Why is it so fucking crunchy, bro? Oh my god. The camera quality on this computer is so bad.
Oh man, he's back, guys, like a damn cockroach. He never leaves. He's like a New York City rat. What's it called? New York City. What do you call that? A New York City fly or something? You know what I'm talking about. The dude doesn't leave. He never goes away. He just released a video called "We Must Protect Our Kids." It is a 7-minute
Lesbian couches.
and everything going on.
Shit. He's gay.
People been getting real mad.
Gay marriage.
He doesn't care what pronouns you use, which I like that a lot. I think that's really cool because I don't.
Well, I'm changing. I have to.
I just say shit. There's a lot of drama, a lot of stink on this that I have already covered. I won't say much more, but EDP has something to say about it, which is hilariously ironic because less than 2 years ago, that man got caught trying to eat a cupcake. And by that I mean A minor. So the video was originally posted to his world famous website.
I got lost in
with
much more airy for the boys.
Now,
Lot
that
of
is hilariously ironic because he is
air.
a bastard. I mean, he's a what, dude? Have you read?
He's a bad motherfucker.
What are you talking about protecting our kids? Give him a break. What are you talking? Jesus Christ. Now, EDP comes right off the bat saying some absolutely out-of-pocket stuff about Chris Beach, saying he supports terrible things. I can't even talk about it on YouTube. It's my initials, CP. That's not good, man. He said, we gotta protect our youth from weird-ass freak MFers like this. We gotta protect our...
It's EDP445!
And our nieces and our cousins from weird-ass freak motherfuckers like this, you feel me? What are you...
He doesn't like gay people.
Literally a file. What are you on about, man? This guy is an absolute idiot. There has to be a level of self-awareness. I hope. My God, how can a human being be so stupid? He goes on to
And obese.
explain who Chris is and who the
I don't like fat
is
people.
Chris Beach,
Fuck fat people.
And his main issue seems
Fuck
to be
the
that Chris
French.
decided to go publicly trans with the amount of influence that they have that surrounds children. I got nothing against gays. I got nothing against transgenders. You want to chop the off, split that shit down the middle, and turn that motherfucker into a plastic surgery, you go right here. He also references how Mr. Beast and Chris Beast went to the Kids' Choice Awards, and they were all there, and Chris was present. He had an issue with it.
Chris was gay! He's gay!
I don't really think this is the worst. Mr. Beast is probably not good.
No one is a good influence if you think about it. Especially not EDP. He is not a good influence. Nuh-uh. He's gay! What, Ma?
Chris is friends with Shatman, who is someone who makes weird P-word comics online. Freak basically has some deep, dark, kinkies. I'm not a kink shamer, to be honest. In fact, I love kink. What do you guys do? I just kidding. I don't like kink. Stop that! Sorry. So EDP then goes on to say that through the just association with Shadman, Chris is Chris is now attracted to lolies, which he's also basing his opinion apparently off a tweet from 2016, which I think just seems pretty much like a joke to me. I don't really know. It's definitely weird to say. I would never say that ever in a million years. But I'm pretty clean, dude. I'm pretty clean. Surprisingly, you guys might think I'm a freak. I'm a freak ass weird motherfucker, but I'm not. I've been a good boy for a long time. Only now am I starting to really rear my
hold on.
Ugly head.
You guys watch the stream.
To me, the tweet seems like an absolute joke. The child thinks it's freaky. He says he has a hard time doing things to people who are 20 years old.
I have a hard time getting my car when I'm watching Mother Nature for 20 years old, 19, 20 years old. I'm like, man,
Our rage quit. My God. TDP.
Which is so weird to me because this dude is like the cupcake. This is the cupcake guy. This guy is actual keto, like genuine. Like he has the thoughts and acted on it. That's not good. Those things are really bad, and I have zero leniency for both. But the second one is leaps and bounds.
El pedophile.
He then goes on to talk about how he has a problem with Chris because he decided to become trans and is pushing his.
Wait, is EDP's channel back up or something?
Single time.
Someone can tell me that. That'd be nice.
Pretty boring guy to be real with you on content. He's pretty laid back, doesn't really say much, and just exists like everyone else in the Mr. Beast team. Not a whole lot going on with that team, to be honest. And also, my favorite part of the video, at about 5 minutes, 26 seconds, EDP, because he doesn't understand how a grown man can get off to kids. Grown ass man, he uses those words. And before finishing his sentences, he literally hits the viewer with this stare.
going back to the whole lolicon thing, I just don't understand, like, how grown
People named Robert. Ah! Sorry.
What is he doing here? He is sifting through different personalities and just deciding to not be the same guy he was 2 years ago. And then it just came back when he had a specific thought. He just came back to him. He knows exactly what he's doing. Dude is such an absolute idiot. Then he repeats points again, like I do. Talks about lollies, stating that it's wrong. It's like he's trying to hit a word count, get the video over 8 minutes, like I do. And then finally, it's over. By God, he's back, and he says always, consistently, the most dumb possible things you can even imagine. For one,
Credits to Oompaville.
does anyone care about Chris Beast? Why does anyone care about that at all? Even a small amount, other than just being happy for another person. And then, literally, he's preaching to the choir. Incredibly hypocritical, guys. Now, there's a lot to comprehend with this video, all right? There's a lot to comprehend. We just bit off a massive chunk, and I've been chewing on it. It's disgusting, too. It tastes like poop.
That's what I'm doing during the fucking test,
Honestly,
bro. Like final
Mr. Beast
exams.
drama. Come on, dude. You can step your game up. Maybe he was off the internet for a while trying to find a job somewhere. He finally saw a Sunny V2 video and was like, I don't know. He just screamed like a chaos demon. Either that, or he has multiple personalities, and one of them is not a liar. Now, I want to know what he's trying to do. Is he trying to appear as the good guy? Is that like a hot take or something? Is he trying to build a redemption arc? Is he trying to start a new series? Maybe File reacts to Mr. Beast videos? Like, what is going on? He's taking the high road, what he thinks is the high road, saying that Chris is worse than him and trying to take it down. It's literally Adolf Hitler thinking he's punching Joseph Stalin, but instead he's actually just punching Chris Beast. I don't know. And it's just so confusing too. And everyone, the response to all this is hilarious. Bro, we forgot. I think he's forgotten. I genuinely believe this statement. There is not a single human being on planet Earth whose opinion matters less than EDP445 on this topic specifically. Also, how the fuck does he know what Shadman is? I only know what Shadman is because I saw a documentary and a video essay about it recently. And the dude sells merch. He sells a bulletproof vest. And I think his merch is just like some of his stuff. He's just selling some of his stuff. Wait, a 1 hour interview? I'm interviewing all I'm absolutely going to do that. If there's not a kid that did this, if he's just bullshit, that is the strangest and funniest thing that has ever happened. Check yourself into a mental hospital. So next level Freud projection going on. Wow. Wow.
Credits to Oopaville. Yes, spur it. Yo, hold on. Damn. Hashtag spur it. Can I say it now? What the fuck? Has brain aneurysm? That's clean. Oh, that's fucking clean. Set up the shrine. To be honest, where is Tribal Island seasonal? Like, they should make it so that you can put Spurred on Tribal Island. Oh, this is like really early. It's still a banger, bro. Oh, we're with Bonfire too. I don't see a place where Spirit can fit on a party island. Let's go. Hey. Ready? Okay. What is this game? Fur orange jelly drink. Fuck man, what? Yes, fuck man, I love it. Shut up, gay bitch. What? Oh, this. I've seen their. They're super boring. It's like 20 minutes of nothing, and then like for 2 seconds something happens. Let's react to game theory. This is gonna be very spooky, guys.
Life has thrived for millions of years. Creatures big and small have found ways to adapt and evolve to flourish in all types of environments.
Facts.
But recently, things have changed. New
Uh-oh.
life forms have started to appear. Strange fleshless creatures may appear meat. They have taken many forms, some delicious, some dangerous. But one thing is clear about the
Can I eat
evolution
them?
of the natural order. We humans are about to be put into the grinder.
Hello,
Yeah.
and welcome to Film Theory, the show that just
But
found
hey,
itself
that's
in
just a
bed.
theory. A film theory.
You and I have very different reactions. I feel like this is the Squishmallow waiting to happen.
No.
This guy, he's adorable. Just want to give his little.
No, he
squishy
isn't.
pat. Wait, what? Hello, guy?
Want to smack the shit out of his forehead. That is
Oh,
like
come on.
shiny ass forehead, bro. Why do you looking like bloody Mr. Clean?
That would look great on a plate and pie, sewn into a dress. Well, do I have a surprise for you, friends? It is Meat Weekend, loyal theorists. That's right. It's our very first four-way crossover for the Theory channels. And we all thought, what is something that truly unites the world?
Like, well, I've been wondering why dress theory.
Hit us in the face like a wet, sloppy slab of beef.
Like it could have been book theory. I feel like book theory would have been a better idea, like going over like books and shit. Like other than, can a heel really pierce through someone's skull?
Meanwhile, over on Food Theory, we're looking into the very real science behind mammoth meatballs. Yep, you heard that one right. Scientists have cloned the meat of extinct woolly mammoths. The first thing that we humans did, we decided to cook it up and put it in our mouths. Sounds pretty darn accurate. Speaking of putting things in our mouth holes, over on Style Theory, we're covering whether or not you can eat Lady Gaga's infamous meat dress. Because if you are what you eat, then why not eat what you wear? Yeah, making a dress out of meat was pretty darn weird, but not nearly as weird as what we're about to cover here today on Film Theory. See, today we're talking about the strange, thick, meaty world of Vita Carnis.
The next species on our list is the meat snake.
Oh, great. Okay.
Meat dick. Meat dick.
It's just really cold outside.
Yeah, meat dick.
Here, Team Theorists are indeed a bunch of mature adults. A ton of people were recommending that we check this series out over on our subreddit and comments in detail.
My thighs are sticking to my bed.
For content like this that you want us to look at, those are two great places to make those recommendations. And I am really glad that you guys put this one on our radar. This is an analog horror series that you can go watch right now for free on YouTube.com. Created by artist and filmmaker Darian Quilloy. But unlike pretty much all other analog horror series, Vita Carnis isn't leading into uncanny liminal strangeness like the background or weird twisted doppelgangers like Mandela.
Yeah, I look
or
at
even nostalgic mascot horror like pretty much everything else. Instead, the creep factor here is coming from horrifying creature design. Vita Carnis is the story of weird meat-based creatures that have started appearing in nature.
Living meatballs.
This is one of the most original analog horror series that I've seen in a long time. The monsters are made of flesh and eat bones. They also grow like plants. It's a very cool idea. In the series, we learn most of our information through documentary tapes filled with strange glitches. There's also archived home videos and newspaper clippings thrown in for good measure. And where there's creepy hidden details, you know that there's plenty of lore. So, in short, I did
That's crazy.
my time with Vita Carnis. So let me tell you, the deeper we get into this documentary, the more pieces of the puzzle that start falling into place. Where is this history coming from? Why is the government trying to cover it all up? And is there anything that we can do to stop what seems to be our inevitable trip to the meat grinder? Season your food and ready your meat snakes.
What if they're zombies?
A lot to chew on. So to start things off, what exactly is going on? As I mentioned at the top of the theory, the bulk of Vita Carnes' story is pulled through a documentary put together by the National Living Meat Research to educate the public, and by extension us, about the creatures in this new genus of skinless animals made out of muscle, organs, and bones. They're called Vita Carnes, Latin for living meat.
Aren't we all just alive meat?
Right? I feel like this is just a statement of facts. Like, oh yeah, you're living meat. And not only do they look like raw meat, they also love to consume raw meat. Obviously not a concern for all us fleshy meat sacks out there. As the story goes, these creatures basically appeared out of nowhere starting in 1931, and their population quickly skyrocketed over the subsequent decades. The documentary is quick to point out that
the origins of these creatures are solely to Earth, miraculously out of nowhere.
seemingly ruling out that they're aliens or demons or any other classic analog horror. In fact, their taxonomy is really well laid out across these videos. The Vita Carnes genus is split into several species, some cute, some useful, and some literal nightmare fuel that'll get you second-guessing your next hike out into nature. In fact, the more we hear about each of these types of critters, the more the dark truth of this world starts coming into focus. The first few creatures are weird, but more or less benign. The most abundant of these is known as the crawl, which are these sort of vines that resemble intestines, growing across the entire world. This stuff is edible. Apparently makes for a good meat substitute, to the point that it's been domesticated and used in several in-universe meals. In fact, one of the videos on the channel is a tutorial on how to create a cheesy pasta dish using the crawl.
Today's dish will be a cheesy crawl penne.
Watch out, boys! Looks like we have ourselves another new entrant in the babish culinary universe. The second type of creature is known as cring. These things grow from the crawl, fall off, and then start skittering around on their own. They're basically sad little flesh turtles that run, hide, and scream. Next up.
Making other lives better was meant to.
That was mid so far. This is mid so far. Entertain me.
The meat snake.
Meat snake.
Yeah, I say, I just love myself some meat snake. According to the lore, these things are basically dead body garbage disposals, crawling around and eating dead carcasses, animal or otherwise. And in what might be one of the coolest bits of creature design that I've seen from an analog horror series in a while, they take the skulls of the creatures they consume and then use them as their own. Normally, these things are only supposed to grow up to 5 meters or 16 feet, which is already pretty darn long, but astute viewers can actually find a hidden newspaper clipping that confirms that they can grow to be much larger. After World War II, a quote, extremely engorged beet snake of impeccable size, their words not mine, was discovered in a tunnel underneath Germany, which consumed so many dead bodies from the war that it grew to 8 times the average length. The skin of this behemoth was also more powerful. It was darker and harder than a normal meat snake. I don't know how much of this is actual lore and how much of this is just trolling. Anyway, the scientists who found it had a lot of difficulty cutting through the meat snake. And with that, it's here that the creatures of Vita Carnes take a hard right turn away from weirdly cute with funny names into pure distilled nightmare fuel. Next up, we got ourselves the mimic, which are exactly what they sound like. Humanoid creatures with creepy smiles, bulging eyes, extended limbs, and a diet composed of human flesh. Oh, geez, I did not expect that at all. The more humans they eat, the more human they look, the darker their skin becomes. That last part sounds like a weird detail, but now that's the second time that we've heard it mentioned, so it feels like an important detail to keep in the back of our minds. Mimics will pick out a target, use clothing to disguise themselves, or even go so far as to hide in the furniture in an attempt to capture their prey. Don't know how a tall, lanky flesh monster is going to be
looking goofy.
Beanbag chair, but sure, we'll just go for it. And yet, despite the massive threat that this thing poses to humankind, it doesn't really seem that there's all that much being done about it. Sure, apparently the world governments have offered advice to their citizens, but it all really amounts to don't die, lol.
Because of the obvious threat this poses on humanity, nations around the world have released instructions on how to be able to fend for yourself in a mimic encounter. Here are the instructions.
The horror only continues with the next creature, too.
It's a ball.
The harvester. These are large masses of flesh that plant themselves in the earth and then extend roots out in all directions. But unlike typical crawl, these roots have literal thorns in them that'll stab into any large animal that walks on them. The worst part of all this, the thorns are full of venom that disable the nervous system and prevent a victim's blood from clotting, which means that they're going to kill them from blood loss so the body can then be consumed. And if all of that wasn't bad enough, there's apparently no way of surviving this.
If you are stung by a harvester, there will be no way of helping, being that there is no cure, and fatality is 100% possible.
We later see and hear what a death by harvester is like in the video Species Anomaly Report. And let me tell you, it is not pleasant. Now, normally at this point in the script, I
Drake got attacked by a harvester.
Point, but let me tell you,
Drake.
Even for me, just take my word for it. It is scary stuff. More reasons to not go and touch grass. And then we have what might be
Discord mods
of these freak shows, the host of influence. Creatures with semi-humanoid torsos and masses of vines that burrow into the ground. Spines extend from their backs, releasing clouds of orange spores that can infect other organisms. From there, the spores go directly into the brain and temporarily alter the minds of the victims, compelling them to sacrifice themselves to the host. Which, yes, I too have seen The Last of Us. Thank you very much. Someone call Pedro Pascal. Looks like we're going to need his help again. Weekend, more like Pedro Pascal weekend. I wonder if I could figure out a way to work him into the meat dress episode. If I did, go down to the comments and say like, hey, I understood that reference. Just to show everyone that you were here, they have officially completed the meat cycle. Anyway, in the most recent video on the channel message, we see a newspaper clipping that says that the authorities are refusing to handle the harvesters. Why? Are they scared? Is there nothing they can do? No,
a little bit
I don't think so. Oh, I just talked about the hosts releasing clouds of orange powder. Well, later on in the channel, there's that random cooking upload that I made a joke about earlier, the cheesy crawl casserole. Well, in that video, we watched that they use a special seasoning called the Nutria-Co Flavor Enhancer, a suspiciously orange powder. Not only that, but the company's logo is a black circle with a red triangle in the middle. This exact series of shapes flashes across the screen during a similar part of the documentary talking about the host.
Are barrels that release spores produced within host's body by being fired into the air. These spores are hazardous, so keep clear of them at all costs.
See right there for that single frame, the exact same logo. Clearly, these two things are connected. And just like with the spores, the flavor enhancer is apparently something that people at Nutria-Co don't want to be inhaling for themselves. For a moment during our cooking tutorial, the faceless, babish cook leans down, and we get the briefest glimpse of a gas mask covering his face. Something else that lets you know that something's just off about this powder. Notice what else happens to the soothing guitar background music when the flavor enhancer gets added.
Finish preparing the dish with your flavor enhancer. Allow your dish to cool to
The guitar gets crazy. It's almost like the mind of the player has been altered in some way. And did you hear what she just said?
Allow your dish to cool to a temperature below 60 degrees Celsius, or else the enhancer will not work.
The enhancer doesn't work if it's above 60 degrees Celsius or 140 degrees Fahrenheit. Conveniently enough, that's the exact temperature at which most fungus dies, like we talked about in our Last of Us video. Go figure. And, as if you needed any more proof, a newspaper clipping from Message reveals that Nutria-Co is facing charges from people getting sick after consuming their products. So things are already looking pretty darn bad for humanity. We've got meat vines everywhere, humanoid mimics in our furniture, meat snakes in our subways, poison in our powders, and even more reasons to fear going out on hikes. But it's here. Once again, we reach a significant change in tone, veering from analog horror spoofs to Lovecraftian SCP terror with the monoliths. These things appeared in 1972, standing in a perfect circle in a redacted location surrounding something else that's been redacted. Based on a map that we see in the video, we can figure out that the location is on an island in Canada's Hudson Bay. And given that we see a map in another video named Message, saying that the Vita Carnis creatures all seem to be moving to this location, this seems to be the point of origin for everything. So what exactly are these monoliths? Well, there's 7 entities that are roughly the size of a 37-story skyscraper. Their legs are firmly rooted into the ground with dozens of long ropey tentacles that move about. Creepiest of all, though, these things just kind of stand around. Don't really react to anything. At one point, several military vehicles attempted to bomb the monoliths, but they just released an EMP pulse that disabled the attack. Even the bombs that managed to hit didn't do that much because the monoliths just repaired themselves. However, did you notice the important detail here? They released an electromagnetic pulse to defend themselves. That right there, that's weird. Throughout the series, we see a lot of instances where the Vita Carnis creatures seem to be taking control of or just outright destroying technology. During a glitch in the first documentary tape, we briefly see a newspaper clipping reporting that a radio tower has become overgrown by the crawl. Other newspaper clippings report trimming infestations under satellite dishes. And still other videos point out their interest in tech like television and radio.
Trimmings also enjoy things
Turtle.
people enjoy as well, like watching the television or listening to the radio.
It would appear as though the Carnis are learning from this technology. Since we're told that these creatures are closely connected to nature, it's likely that they're latching onto these unnatural human creations to either spy on us, destroy them, or ultimately use them against us. Now, at first glance at the channel's uploads, that would seem like the end of the main series releases. Sure, there are some found footage videos in the mix, a cooking tutorial, a commercial for the seasoning powder, stuff like that, but outside of a re-uploaded compilation of all the previous videos, that seems to be the end of the documentary segments that form the foundation of this world. Except that would be missing a huge final reveal hiding in plain sight. You see, what at first appears to be a rote re-upload of all the shorter documentary segments put together actually contains a final, all-new monster, a creature that seems to be the one behind all of Vita Carnis's chaos. This thing is known simply as the Singularity, and it's completely unlike everything we've talked about so far. It's a 1 meter in diameter dark sphere that's floating off the ground. That's it. Big old ball. We're told that several strange magnetic fields and energy signatures are coming out of the Singularity, but all the other information about it is kept classified. And the government wants to keep it that way. You see,
Of
according
course
to a
it's
newspaper clipping
classified.
that we see on screen during the latest video message, the people at National Living Meat Research were arrested for making this documentary because it included, quote, sensitive materials and defamation. But why? I mean, mimics and harvesters are killing people en masse. Hosts are spewing out mind-altering spores, and there's a corporation selling those spores as a spice to add to our food. Something feels off here. I mean, what is the government hiding? Well, as the man uncovering the conspiracy in the video puts it, and I suspect that the Singularity is at the center of it all. You see, special reports and newspaper clippings aren't the only thing that's hidden under the surface of the series. Disguised in the glitches of these videos, we can find pages from what appear to be a children's storybook, telling the story of a long-lost prince. Some parts of the pages are unreadable due to either glitches covering up the text, video artifacting that blurs the letters, or just being cut off, but we can largely get the gist of the story. So sit down and relax as I tell you a dark, twisted tale.
Yay!
Once upon a time, the magical royal family of a distant kingdom wished to discover new lands, but as they were traveling by sea, their ship was struck by a giant storm. The prince fell overboard, eventually washing up injured on an island. He stumbles into a nearby cave, using what magic he can to put himself into a healing sleep. He slumbered for a long time, what seemed like forever, long enough for the land around him to change and evolve into something unrecognizable. Outside of the cave, a group of small critters began living on the island, struggling in times of hardship when there was too little food to go around. Eventually, the critters found the sleeping prince, awestruck by his magic. Some of them wondered if they'd be able to use the prince's magic to grow food and heal sickness, but the majority agreed that he was too dangerous and should be left alone. Despite this, some critters ignored the decision, sneaking what food they had to feed the prince, hastening his recovery. Thanks to them, the prince awoke. Now fully recovered, the prince befriended the critters. They formed a bond, with the critters leading the prince to their home inside the forest. They asked the prince if he would be able to help them, since the forest was unable to provide everything they needed to survive. The prince agreed, using his magic to summon mystical lights, shapes, colors, and figures. The critters were mesmerized by the prince's brilliance, and they built the prince a raft so he could return to his home kingdom. As he left, the prince vowed that with his power and the aid of the kingdom, he would someday return and heal the critters' home. Well, on the surface, this just seems to be like an odd little side story, series of Easter eggs hidden in an analog horror video to add to the mystery. It is far from that. The way I see it, this is literally a metaphor for the entire story that Vita Carnis is trying to tell us. The prince, that's the Singularity, or whatever is at the center of all this mess in Canada, controlling the rest of these meat creatures around the world. I suspect it's from some super powerful alien civilization. While traveling the cosmos with others of its kind, just like the prince on his ship, it's hit by some sort of tragedy in space, either a supernova or some sort of big bang. Something that is so powerful that our pathetic little human meat brains can't comprehend the scale. Either way, this alien creature is separated from all the others, and then it crash lands here on Earth billions of years ago in what eventually becomes modern-day Hudson Bay. It's there in the Hudson Bay that this alien entity forms an island that exists in the world of Vita Carnis, but not in our own world. Injured by the impact, whatever this creature is went into hibernation that has lasted itself hundreds of millions, maybe even billions of years, at least long enough that it seems that
The origins of these creatures are solely to Earth. miraculously out of nowhere.
Tectonic activity and life on Earth reshaped the planet above it, just like the world outside the prince's cave changed while he was asleep. Eventually, intelligent life formed on the planet, us lowly humans. We're the critters from that story, using up the resources of the world and struggling to survive, at least in the eyes of this more highly evolved being. Some humans eventually find the entity in the 1930s, and while most of the people in charge wanted to leave the creature be, others didn't. They saw it as a way to progress, to save themselves and the species from dwindling resources on Earth as humanity wrings it dry. And why wouldn't they? It's this incredible Lovecraftian being beyond anything we understand. And the organic material it creates helps the natural life cycle of Earth.
But due to its unique life cycle, where old branches fall off and decay into nutrient-rich compost, all forms of life seemingly flourish instead.
A cult forms in the highest rankings of humanity, in governments and corporations and militaries, all of them focused on somehow resuscitating this mysterious being. See the symbol on the flag that was put on the prince's raft that they rebuilt? It's the same symbol that we see on the flavor enhancer. It's the same thing that gets called out in multiple other videos. It's the symbol that represents whatever this cult worshipping the entity is. And how do they plan on bringing it back? Well, just like the prince in the story, they start feeding the entity. They start feeding it meat, specifically humans. That's why nothing's being done about the mimic or harvester attacks. That's why the mind control spores are being distributed as condiments. That's why people are encouraged to eat the crawl and pretend that everything is okay and normal. That's why the elder mimics and the giant meat snake that they found in the tunnel are so much more powerful than the others. They've eaten more humans. They've grown stronger and darker as a result. Not quite as dark as the prince or the singularity, giant floating black ball, but both the mimic documentary and the meat snake archival video make a specific point to call out the color.
It grows thick,
The
dark,
miter.
with flexible skin.
A typical meat snake's color is bright reds and light browns.
Uh-oh.
Typical meat snake
No glucose.
I gotta say, at this point, it seems like the cult's been successful.
No glucose. Oh, that's not good. That's so
the world
good.
doomed to fall to this Lovecraftian alien being and the cult following it as it slowly awakens from its slumber? Thankfully, not yet. The latest video gives us hope, since it appears that the people behind the
What up, pals?
are connected to another.
Be right back. My blood sugar's down. Okay. I will. Love you, Mom.
Organization that started a resistance, known as the Containment and Research Consult Association Society, or CARCAS for short, an acronym. We love ourselves a good acronym. They've started their own recruitment drive and are attempting to blow this conspiracy wide open. And that's about it. Actually, that's about as far as the story's gotten at this point. Let me tell you that I, for one, cannot wait to see where this one goes next. Like I said at the top of the episode, this has been one of the most original analog horror series I've watched in a while. And I hope that us covering it here gets more eyeballs over to Darian's hard work and spine-chilling art. But while this may be all that we have right now for Vita Carnes, it is not all that we have.
I'm not on the stream.
Weekend, my friends. Remember to go check out
I don't know why I did one. I was bored. Bye.